Beings of the universe, if you clicked on this video, that means that you exist. Thank you for existing. I would like to talk about the existential and the general possibility and experience of what is to become of the game Outriders. Will there be an Outriders 2? Will it just fade into insignificance like many other titles do these days? Auto aim off here. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you did not enjoy this video, please do indeed let me know in the comments down below. As a player who is absolutely obsessed with the title Outriders in 2023, I would like to just make a video addressing my concerns, addressing my thoughts, and asking other people what their thoughts and what their concerns are about the future of Outriders and the state of Outriders in the year 2023. I would like to begin by talking about the player base, one of the most important aspects in a PvE live service shooter, such as the title Outriders. I would like to state that the player base has dwindled significantly since the release of the title. If you would like to get in on a game with other players for PvE, there is no PvP in Outriders. So if you are looking for a PvP title, it is not here. This is a PvE live service shooter that I am completely obsessed with. Going back to the player base. The player base has dwindled significantly since release in the game Outriders. If you would like to get in on a game with others in PvE, there is no PvP, as I previously just stated. If you would like to get in on a game of PvE with other players in the year 2023, you must utilize third-party spaces, such as Discord and such as Reddit. It is very fun to play with other players in Outriders, but I personally enjoy offline matches, solo play, to increase the difficulty, to increase the need for cognitive focus. I know it may offend many viewers, but in a Dark Souls type of way, I very much enjoy the gameplay of Outriders. I know many might be offended by me even comparing Outriders to Dark Souls, but I feel that the titles are very reminiscent of each other. Obviously, Outriders drawing significant influence from the title Dark Souls, whether that be Dark Souls 1, 2, or 3, Demon Souls, etc. I would like to state how in Dark Souls you must know the different characteristics of each adversary. You must know the characteristics of the arena that you are playing inside of. You must know the areas that are, bottlenecks of that arena. You must know the areas that you should be in strategically, the areas that you should not be in strategically. You must play each boss battle maybe over 10 times to learn all the different characteristics of your adversary. Personally, I very much enjoy that process. It reminds me a lot of the Dynasty Warriors series on the PlayStation 2 and on the PlayStation 3, as well as some stellar titles on the PlayStation 4. I would like to say that this title Outriders is very reminiscent of those titles. It is very grindy gameplay, very arena-based gameplay. It is not so much about the story. It is about learning the quirks of your environment. It is about learning the quirks of your enemy and engaging in that cognitive process of playing the same level 5 times, playing the same level 10 times, and learning the most sufficient and the most strategic ways to complete that level. If you do not enjoy repetitive gameplay, I do not know how many of you play the Gears of War series, but the Horde mode gameplay, where you would just be in an arena many times on the same map with just wave after wave of enemies, and the only real activity in the game was the strategy of orienting yourself in the best location to take on your adversaries. Outriders is the same way. If you do not like Horde-based gameplay, arena-based gameplay, Dynasty Warriors-type gameplay, then you might not enjoy the game Outriders. I would like to move on to talking about basically where this title is going, We all enjoy the title Outriders. We all like playing it, the small player base that is still here in 2023. What is going to happen to this title? What is going to happen to this game if they shut down the servers? There will be a completely large amount of sadness among the Outriders fan base, the small fan base, if the servers are shut down. It is such an amazing power trip game. It is such an amazing strategic game. It is an absolutely stellar title, and the players that are there and enjoying it would be very sad if the servers shut down. If the servers did shut down, I really would not have too much of a problem as long as People Can Fly and Square Enix allowed the player base to continue playing offline or possibly do direct PvE the way we kind of have to do it now, utilizing third-party spaces such as Discord and such as Reddit. I absolutely think it is not too much of an inconvenience to utilize spaces like this. In fact, it feels a bit retro-futurism to do so. You know, a bit cyberpunk, might I say, to do so. You can't just click matchmaking. You need to utilize your PC. You need to utilize your cellular communication device to access information to other Outriders. I would also like to discuss the recent leaks that were released regarding the title Outriders 2. I would be overjoyed, ecstatic, and very happy in general to see an Outriders 2 released. I think that the biggest news about these leaks is that the game developer, People Can Fly, a round of applause to People Can Fly, for the title Bulletstorm and the title Outriders. I saw one of the biggest bullet points in these leaks stating that basically they had developed and they had accumulated sufficient information and sufficient knowledge to enable them to publish their own games and to enable them to distribute their own games. And that would bring greater developer choice and greater creativity and greater freedom in how they release their next title. It is codenamed Project Red, I believe, and it was a Sony sci-fi RPG. That was kind of what the leaks were titled as, but it is the same developer as Outriders, and apparently some of the leaked footage looks to be a third-person action title similar to Outriders, and many people are speculating that it is Outriders 2. Whether we do get an Outriders 2 or whether it is titled something different, I would love to see another title from the developer. People Can Fly. Another round of applause for this incredible developer. I would love to see an Outriders 2, quote-unquote, but it doesn't have to be called Outriders 2. I would love to see the same formula. Third person, personally, because I like third-person gameplay, I would like to see a third-person action game, ability-oriented, where your abilities are just as important as your firepower. And I would like to see it in the same gameplay format, with the same gameplay mechanics. Arena-based gameplay. I know this might offend many people, but repetitive gameplay, much like the Diablo series. Diablo 1, 2, and 3. Very excited for Diablo 4. Getting back to the game Outriders. I would love to see the same formula. Repetitive gameplay. Arena-based gameplay. Very reminiscent of the Dark Souls series. Very reminiscent of the Dynasty Warriors series. I would love to see the same formula that we had in Outriders brought to us by the incredible developer People Can Fly, but repackaged maybe in another IP or as another name. Ability-oriented, movement-oriented, strategic gameplay where strategy is just as important as firepower. Not a cover shooter. I personally do not enjoy cover shooters. I used to, but I do not anymore. I very much like the fast-paced, on your feet, in your face gameplay that People Can Fly have brought to us in Outriders. With cover shooters, you have a few seconds to think about your next move. You have a few seconds to think about where your adversary is coming at you from. In Outriders, you do not have any of those luxuries. You must utilize cognitive power. You must utilize speed and momentum. It is not a light cover shooter. I would love to see this formula carried over to an Outriders 2, or whatever this mystery project is that has been leaked that is apparently in collaboration with Sony. Shout out Sony for supporting People Can Fly, the absolutely incredible developers behind Bulletstorm and the title Outriders. I'd like to conclude this video by saying that I think it's a great time to get into the title Outriders. Whether you get it on Game Pass, whether you get it on PlayStation Plus, or whether you get it on PC, whether you get it with or without the Outriders DLC, which is known as the Worldslayer DLC. The The base game is very well balanced in conjunction with the DLC. It does not feel too empty, the base game, and the DLC does not feel like it was just tacked on there. The amount of content in the DLC and the amount of content in the base game is balanced very well. And I would also like to address the controversy very quickly surrounding the Worldslayers DLC. I see people being much too hard on the developer People Can Fly for the Worldslayers DLC. It could have been a corporate agreement, it could have been a contractual agreement, or they may have needed to put that in there to secure funding for their next title, which I am very excited for. Great developer, always enjoyed their titles. Getting back to Outriders, I would just like to say that I would recommend this to anyone who is looking for a solid ability-based shooter, anyone who is looking for a solid movement-oriented shooter, and anyone who is looking for a repetitive, strategic, Dark Souls-like, Dynasty Warrior-like game. I would like to say that I think it's a great title. I don't know what the future of it is, but whether the servers shut down or whether the servers keep going, I will be loyally playing Outriders. I think it's a great title, and I recommend it to anyone looking for a good game. It is free on Game Pass. It is free on PlayStation Plus. I would highly advise anyone who is a fan of action games or third-person games to go for the title Outriders. Beings of the Universe, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. Beings of the Universe, if you enjoyed this video, please like and comment. And if you did not enjoy this video, please comment down below and let me know why. Shout out People Can Fly. Shout out Sony for supporting People Can Fly. I am very excited for the next Outriders, and in the meantime, I will be continuing to play the current title. My gamer tag is available upon request to anyone who would like to get in on a game of Outriders. Beings of the Universe, I appreciate you watching, and I appreciate you being here with me today. Thank you for existing. If you are currently existing, please continue to exist. Thank you, all beings.